Hello Exiles, Red Lord here. So the league has been out for almost 25 hours now, and I'm here of course with the first update for the Earthshatter General's Cry Lacerate of Butchering Chieftain. And yeah, TLDR, the build is great, it slaps, it pulls damage out of nowhere, but first of all I gotta say something about the new breach. So what can I say? I just love the new breach. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm playing a melee character that doesn't really have a good clear, and even I am not struggling that much while clearing, and it is fun. It is fun to interact with it. It is fun to just have those different breach encounters. It's not the same one all the time. And yeah, everything just looks great, and the Genesis tree, maybe I love it even more than I do love the actual breach and killing monsters. The Genesis tree, I think it's brilliant. I love it. I love the fun aspect of it, of basically you giving birth to your own items. By the way, I didn't get a Divine Orb yet. But yeah, just love it. And just thanks to the Genesis tree, I mean, I didn't even do any upgrades during the campaign. I didn't buy anything. Only thing I bought was the Lacerate of Butchering, and that's it. Basically, all of my gear is from the Genesis tree except for my body armor. Everything else is from my Genesis tree or from Gamba. But, I mean, yeah, just like I said, I just love it. I love the new breach. I love the Genesis tree. It is super fun. And just thanks to interacting with the breach so much, I was just, no kidding, 6 levels above every zone from like Act 4 onwards. I was 6 levels above every zone, because I was just doing every breach, and the breaches were just spewing out XP, just giving you so much XP that, yeah, I was 6 levels above. So now let's talk about the build at least a little bit. So the build, I mean, it exceeded my expectations. I didn't think it's gonna be this good. And by the way, I'm using Earthshatter of Prominence right now, but if you really want to use normal Boneshatter Classic, just use Boneshatter Classic, it might even be better. But I opted for the Prominence one because I wanted to be different. But yeah, just, I mean, I didn't upgrade my weapon for like 40 levels. I'm currently in map tier 6-7, and I'm using the same weapon that I got in Act 6, early Act 6, and I don't feel the need to upgrade it. I've got way more damage than I could ever ask for right now, and I'm pretty much one-shotting map bosses. They're not a problem at all. And yeah, I'm just currently working on scaling defenses and quality of life because I just pulled damage out of nothing. And yeah, 60 rage, slamming, General's Cry to back it up. I mean, yeah, just like I said, I'm just working out on improving quality of life and defenses right now, and clear, of course. But yeah, let's jump into the items. Let's start off with the weapon. This is the axe I got, as I said, in early Act 6, and I kept on using it, and my single target is just fine. I mean, just a simple Fizz DPS axe, and I don't even know when am I going to replace it. I probably should replace it right now. I mean, I've got the currency to replace it, but I don't feel the need to. So this is the axe. This is all I need. Other than that, this is pretty much the only gear piece that I bought for the build. This body armor right here, and it's just some armor-based body armor with 5 link. And I didn't have chromatic orbs, so I just bought it because it had 5 red sockets linked. So yeah, nothing body armor. Bought this for 1 chaos. So this is literally the only like gear piece that I bought. And yeah, just this. Rings, complete nothing. Everything is complete nothing. All of this is just the gear that I found during the campaign, except this helmet. This is something that I found in like tier 1 maps or something. So yeah, other than that, it's just the gear that I found during leveling, found it myself, and that's pretty much it. The only other notable thing that I bought was this cluster jewel, and I cannot recommend this one enough, with lead by example and warning call, because warning call with this build just straight up means 100% increased armor all the time, and lead by example means permanent onslaught all the time for this build. Because when you war cry, that also counts for automated war cries from your auto exertion, and that means if you have cooldown of your Warcries below 4 seconds, you're gonna have permanent Warcry uptime, which I do, because my what's up with this? My General's Cry cooldown is 1.5 seconds. So every 1.5 seconds, I refresh the Onslaught and I'm having permanent Onslaught, not with Hideout, not in Hideout, obviously. So let's just quickly cover the gem setup I'm currently using. I'm using Determination as my pretty much main aura. Then Rallying Cry, barely ever pressing this right now. I'm gonna have it automated once and I actually fix my mana. Then I'm using Desecrate. This is very important. You have to self-cast pretty much Desecrate on bosses if you want to have General's Cry on bosses, because Desecrate is gonna spawn corpses, and from off of these corpses, we're gonna spawn the General's Cry dudes. And yeah, so just having plain Desecrate on level 1, don't need anything else. Other than that, Vulnerability, again to debuff bosses. Faster attacks with Leap Slam, of course. Then we're using the Auto Exertion setup with General's Cry, melee physical damage support, and Lacerate of Butchering currently. And I'm thinking about switching Lacerate of Butchering to something else because I don't want to deal with the dexterity requirements. So I might eventually switch it. We shall see. Something else. And yeah, other setup is Auto Exertion again with Intimidating Cry. It's another Auto Exertion setup. And by the way, each Auto Exertion or each Warcry automated costs you 15% mana reservation. Just keep that in mind. And yeah, the main setup is Earthshatter of Prominence currently with Fist of War, Pulverize, Melee Physical, Brutality, and yeah, Seismic Cry, just threw it in there. Also, barely ever pressing this. That's gonna be automated. But the build is pretty simple. It plays itself and you pretty much don't have to worry about much. You just run around, press buttons, and stuff dies. That's it. That easy. And in terms of the rune grafts, I'm using the one with Tender Embrace to give me pretty much an endurance charge when I need it. And Return to Dust. It is cool to see those like breach hands slam on the enemy. And they actually do quite potent damage sometimes. So that's an additional slam into the build. Now for the skill tree. The Ascendancy, as I said, we are Chieftain. First Ascendancy was Thessalio Cleansing Water to just cover all of our resists, and it is extremely easy with Chieftain to fix your resists, thanks to this. Then second Ascendancy was Sun's Roar. Sun's Roar. For mainly the Warcries of infinite power, that means our General Cry is always going to spawn the maximum amount of General's Cry dudes that are gonna use the spell. And last Ascendancy, or the third one, was Valakos. Modifiers to maximum fire res also apply to other elemental res, which means we're currently at 80% maximum elemental resists. And yeah, lastly, I'm gonna use the Tukohama for the free Fist of War and change the Fist of War. But I might be using the Oshabi Rage Ascendancy. Eventually switch to that. I'm just gonna try it. Definitely, but until then, I'm gonna be using Tukohama. Now for the skill tree itself, it is pretty similar to what I was initially going for. So I'm basically stacking rage. I'm currently at 60 max rage. Every single rage is 1% more attack damage. So basically 60% attack damage all the time. And thanks to Warcries, grant 1 rage per enemy power, up to 5. This means that we're, thanks to Warcries of infinite power, we're non-stop generating rage. Which means, basically we never run out of rage. Of course, Resolute Technique, and I just started to scale some Impale, but yeah, this is definitely a work in progress. Don't take it as granted. I'm working on it all the time, and pretty much what I feel like I need to have, I just click it. So yeah, and by the way, other important thing, melee hits fortify with this mastery, permanent fortify, and yeah, the cluster jewel I already explained. So yeah, that's pretty much the day 1 for me. It's been great. The build is amazing. I love it. As I said, the only things I really feel like I need right now is some quality of life, better clear, and some more defense, because the usual melee problems like those Molten Shell Goatmen, you just leap slam into them and boom, you're dead. Yeah, every melee knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, with that in mind, thank you very much for watching, Exiles, and see you in the next update.